All right, how y'all doing today? I think we are live. I hope we're streaming. Um, well, it's good to see you all, and we are going to get started with another episode of social work of another episode of this week in supervision. It's been a long week. We had our CEU training, and it was dynamic. We had that this week, and then next week we got the social work supervisor training. And so I've just got a lot on my mind, just trying to size up everything that's on the agenda. But we're going to talk a little bit today about some of the resources that you can use if you're looking for content for your supervisors. For your supervisees. And again, let me just give y'all this information real quick, because there's still some of you all that are trying or ready to sign up. We've been having people sign up by the minute, and we just want to make you aware that next week on Monday we're having the social work supervisor training, and we're hoping that you can be there. But let's get to some of the content that we have for today. For individuals, some of you all are looking, and I know I'm not going to lie, it could be very intimidating trying to find content to present. Like, even just thinking about the content to present to you all at this point in time becomes difficult, because a lot of times, even like this week, we're talking about so many different things, and then kind of summing it up and bringing it to you and making it something that you actually want to hear is difficult. So having a whole hour or more in front of your supervisee or multiple supervisees can be intimidating, but there are some things, some steps that you can use to try to get that figured out. So one of the things that I would advise is that, for one thing, that you kind of know, and I'm going to share my screen right here, know what type of supervisor you are. Know what your approach is. Now, you can be an eclectic style supervisor. Now, this is something that I think it would be important that every supervisor has, and it's something from the NASW. I don't think they've updated this for a while, but it's called Best Practice Standards in Social Work Supervision. So this right here tells you a lot about some of the things that might be important for you to know concerning supervision, just some of the basics, but it's not necessarily going to give you subject matter, but there are some things that you can pull from here that are very important. And I wanted to stress and look at the various types of supervision really quickly. We're at 350 very quickly, so that I think that this is important when you're trying to identify what type of supervisor that you are wanting to be. Because there are various different types of supervisors with different types of supervision styles, and you need to understand which one works best for you. All right. And so when we look at administrative supervision, we're talking more so about someone who is focusing more on the job performances that the supervisee may be going through. So you're looking at job performances, you're looking at the context of the agency's policies and organizational demands. You're talking more about what's going on with their work situation and implementing methods that can help those social workers to be effective. So that may be your style. Now, you don't have to stick to any one particular style when you're doing this. Educational supervision is the next one over here that they talk about. And with educational supervision, that's kind of more like the supervision I provide. It involves not so much teaching, but in a way it is, but more so refreshing what the social worker has already learned in school and helping them to take it to the next level, helping them to be able to make things tactical, and getting them geared up for the professional work that they're taking on. And so we're kind of refining the skills that you already have. We're addressing cases. Sometimes that gets kind of difficult in a group. So you have to have scenarios, because you have to protect the information of the clients that the supervisee has been seeing. But this is a lot what we do with educational supervision, and you're looking at from assessment and treatment to ethical considerations. And so these are some of the things that you might look at there. And then lastly, we have supportive supervision, and this aims to reduce the job-related stressors that your supervisee may be experiencing. It acknowledges some of the challenges that they may be facing. So you're talking about, hey, some of the things that's going on in the job that's difficult, or you maybe even helping them with identify ways to access the resources that they need to be able to access in order to be effective on the job. And maybe some of the emotional strains that they are having, and providing just a safe and trusting environment for them to develop professional identity and self-efficacy. All right, so once you have chosen what form, or usually out of the three, it's probably going to be one that you want to focus on dominantly. And for me, it's educational supervision. I lean more to the clinical side, clinical meaning that we have moved into the direction of where a lot of what is being focused on when we're talking about clinical supervision has to do with psychotherapy, psychotherapy and treatment, as well as, you know, some crisis type situations. So we focus on a lot of that. You bring in ethics. You have to bring the ethics into the supervision situation. But let's get to resources. So like when I'm trying to think of a particular topic, now, some of you all may have seen the video that I put out a few weeks ago, to where it was showing you how to look at a YouTube video. So if you just do a random search of some things that you have in mind that you want to talk about, is what I do a lot. Anytime when, and this is another tip, anytime you have a subject, if you're presenting a subject to somebody, and let's just say that you're hitting on one key point, let's just say defining depression. A lot of times, if you want to keep them interested, I don't do this as much as I used to, is have introduce the subject, but then have a small video clip to back it up. And I can't play video clips as much now because they have a lot of things changing with YouTube and things, but you can do that in your session for educational purposes. And so each time you make a point, maybe you want to have a video clip to back it up, and then you can get into some discussion concerning what that video clip is about. And that can take you a long way in the session, right? So let me see if I can share my screen, and we're going to talk about really quickly some resources that you can use to help you out as well when you're looking to find content to provide to your supervisees. And let me see if I can share my screen here. It's giving me trouble. Okay, so this is my prime resource right here. I love to use this one. This one is psychotherapy.net. And as you can see, and these are paid services. You know, it's probably going to cost you about 30 or 40 bucks or something for this account here. But the thing is, they're investing in you to provide the service. So as much as you can afford, you want to invest in kind of services that can help you to be better. Anyway, okay, so let's move. So for instance, like they have some power players on psychotherapy.net. And the cool thing about it is that as you are using these materials, you can also get CEUs. I think sometimes it may be a small fee to actually get the CEU, but it doesn't seem like it's been anything outrageous. But like, so if you look here, you can see different approaches here. Like if you're talking about couples therapy, group therapy, narrative therapy, if you're even wanting to learn yourself, this is a powerful tool to use to bring into your sessions. And then they do it by approach, by therapeutic issue. As you can see, there's a lot of different issues here. You've got eating disorders, you got addiction, all these different things you can bring it in. And this is the thing, what I like is that they have video. So right here, you see like there's a section on approach for DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. Wow. Well, look, they have the creator of DBT right here. And so when you know, like if I'm gonna push play, you can see some of what she is presenting and explaining about her own theory. You get to hear it from the expert. And not only that, if you were to look through here, she actually gets into a case type situation where she is demonstrating DBT, and it's the one who created it. It doesn't get any better than that. You are seeing how this is placed into action. So this is one resource that you can look at. Let's step over to another one. If we look over here, now this one you can get is called Med Circle. Now, Med Circle has a number of their videos on YouTube, which you can get for free. And primarily this is clinical stuff. It's going to be talking about a lot of things relative to crisis situations, relative to therapy, relative to even things that your clinicians might experience, like burnout and things like that. Now, let's see. So for Med Circle, it's $40 a month. So, you know, they're not cheap. But this is the thing, for this one, it gets kind of cheap because my math is bad, but I think 40 times 12 is 480. Somehow I may be mixing up math here, but it ends up being only $10 a month to start a plan. This is what I'm on right here. Yeah, see, I was wondering. Look, I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm like, how did that come out to that, man? But pay yearly and save 75%. So, I mean, for just $120, then you get access to all these videos. Like I said, if you want to start out the free route and just for the whole year, for all their archives, you're talking about 900 plus videos, right? And let's take a look at what they have. You know, these are some of the subjects that you get to look at. So if you wanted to look up, like we've been talking a lot about ADHD, then they have a lot of different material on ADHD. You know, if you want to look into borderline, then there's a lot of materials that you can look, and these are, you know, in-depth videos. Now, some of these you will have to have the better plan. Like with that one, it's going to make you upgrade, but a good bit of them, you will only need that basic plan, which is only $120. If you want to pay for it in bulk, $240 for the whole month. So these are some valid resources that you can look at to add on to your supervision so that you feel that you're having something to talk about. I always suggest, you know, what I do, I generally start off with talking to the supervisees about what they've been experiencing on the job, if they have anything in particular that they want to talk about that's on their mind, and then we start getting into the content. And a lot of times I'm usually not playing but small segments, small clips of these videos. And then we kind of just get into some deep discussion. I create multiple choice questions and things of that nature. Another thing that you can do is listen to podcasts like the Social Work Podcast, and they have a number of different topics that are relative to social work. You know, I got to check this one out myself about what, you know, it's a lot of things I've been hearing about some of the things that's been happening in Illinois. I talked to somebody the other day that said that it looks like they have thrown out the exam, one of the exams. I don't want to say, but yeah, it's some big things going on there. And that's presented, I've heard this name a lot, by Jonathan B. Singer. Okay. And so that is what you could get there. And that's free. That's free. And this is another paid one. You probably could get some CUs here, but these people right here, man, they have some really powerful trainings. It's Nikon, I can't say that. NICAMBM, another great resource that you can use in order to get content, and they get into some really deep subjects. I don't see a box here, but they send me a lot of emails about their materials. As you can see, they've teamed up with Bezel Vander Polk. I can't say his name. I'm sorry, y'all. But they've teamed up, Bezel Vander Kolk, and he's awesome. Of course, we know he's the author of The Body Keeps Score. And so they've got some great stuff. And then also, you know, you want to keep in mind ChatGPT. When you have that ChatGPT, look, you could create multiple choice questions. Sometimes they're not that great, but a lot of times they are. As you can see, I have run a lot of multiple choice questions through ChatGPT to add on to my supervision experience. I hope that this has been helpful. And, you know, like I said, if you all have any questions and things about supervision, in content or just anything that kind of crosses your mind, don't hesitate to hit me in the chat on Facebook. Sometimes I'm a little delayed, especially if I don't have the answer. But I just encourage you to reach out to me. And sometimes the question that you have, a lot of other people have as well. Well, don't forget about our training this week. We're having them every other month for social work supervisors who are looking to, or individuals who are looking to be social work supervisors. We hope to see you at our training this coming next week on Monday, and we'll have it again the month after. You all take care and have a blessed weekend. All right, bye-bye.